This is the book of this is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 15. I'm going to begin at verse 1. And it reads, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speaketh against thee, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Kol Haloyim, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Racha, Quadash, Barakatham. Double honors to my apostles and to my elders, a great millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwak and the Yakim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad, and the land and other nations appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to the truth. To you I say shalom. This is the brother Yawasat out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And basically, this is going to be a quick lesson on an article I saw on the Newsbreak app. And you know, brothers speak on it quite often as far as what they see going on right now and what is about to happen in the times to come because of these different shortages. Like wait till people start really getting laid off. You know what I mean? When the recession really hits. Like right now, it's not affecting everybody as much because of the fact that it's really targeting those app jobs. People act like, it's funny too, you had all these people talking shit about Bitcoin and the stock market. Well, the stock market's been losing money for like the last, month? And yet still these people will not admit that something's going on. And that's scary, if all these different things are going on, show you how blinded the world truly is. You got people that subscribe to calling themselves Christians and don't even recognize the time that they're living in. Ain't that something? So, we constantly harp on and bring out the fact that if you got robberies and bloodshed and murder being committed now, man eyes evil towards one another. What do you think it's going to be like when, it's less people working and the economy is more discombobulated, on top of the fact that you had Biden make mention of it's going to be another pandemic. Just like how this is all orchestrated because they gave out money for stimuluses because the economy was shut down or broken, but yet and still now when people need stimulus help more than ever, they're not tempted to try to give anybody any. So this is how the news break, and it caught my attention, because of the fact of a statement they made, and that's how, you got to understand the Lord put a spirit on this man to do this. So it says, Cleveland, man indicted for 3 murders in Ohio. I ain't gonna even read Ed Gallic faggot ass. Anyway, this guy, he's funny. They're supposed to be this super top flight reporter, but then you got all the corruption in City Hall and corruption in the Cleveland Police Department and the county jail. Yet and still, I don't see that guy reporting none of that shit. So it reads: the Fox 8 team has found Cuyahoga County prosecutors just indicted a man on 33 charges tied to a series of shootings and 3 murders. Donta Dixon now has been indicted for aggravated murder, weapons charges, tampering with evidence, and more. The prosecutors say in early March of last year, Dixon fired shots at 2 victims and the bullets hit multiple houses near West 32nd and Meyer. The investigators say a week later, Dixon and an accomplice shot and killed 2 people as they sat in a vehicle that happened near West 54th and Store. Prosecutors say in May of last year, Dixon shot at his girlfriend as she drove away. Now that's what caught my attention. He shot his girlfriend as she drove away. It reads, a bullet hit her in the back and she recently died following the complications from the gunshot wound. The medical examiner ruled her death a homicide. Now, right, that's a murder. Not a suicide, homicide. So, it wasn't a very long article, but it just put me in a mindset when I read that part about how, and that's a testimony to how, these women gonna have it bad in these days leading up to this coming calamity. Because you got to understand, the woman is the weaker vessel. That's in the scriptures. So when things get a lot more rougher, and because you got laws in place now where a man can't really literally have his way with a woman, but you got to understand, these police forces are less staffed. They were saying how in Cleveland alone, they lost like 25% of their police force because of the pandemic. You see a lot of cities where they're trying to hire policemen back because a lot of police left due to the fact of being forced to take that jump shot. So reading all that to say this, you're going to have spirits out here. And it tells you in the scriptures about the Lord created spirits for vengeance. You're going to have death spirits out here, death angels. They're going to be jumping on different individuals and, judging people. And the thing is, nothing is new under the sun. So, the things happened before, but this time when they happen, the death, the destruction, the famine is going to be at a greater scale. It's known as in the scriptures as the time of Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. This is the book of Genesis chapter 6, beginning at verse 5, and it reads, and Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Verse 6, and it repented the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Verse 7, and the Lord said, I will destroy man, whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and the creeping thing. So the Lord is basically setting up a judgment to destroy 2/3 of our nation, and as well as the heathen, and whoever the Lord see fit. Who is you to say that the Lord is not just in this? You got to understand, the Lord set up the earth to be a paradise, yet and still he knew the wickedness of man created this shit. You got to understand, the people that rule the earth, these people are so bugged out that literally, and you got Jake that's supporting it. Like, I just witnessed some wicked ass shit, and I know ultimately, see, the thing is, I can probably deal with it to a degree because I understand all things ultimately go back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. If you get punched in your face, the Lord allowed that to happen to you. Just like he made sure that Daniel in that lion's den the lion didn't touch Daniel. But what did it say? After Daniel was rescued out of it, what did they do? They threw the people that accused him in there along with their fucking families. That's how cold the Lord is. And the lion immediately jumped and pounced on them. Because that was all spiritual. So the Lord's creating a time where he about to judge this whole planet. What is that? This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Did I even get that? 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Second Ezra chapter 16. And it reads, behold, 2nd Ezra 16 and 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So when you go into a scourge is basically like a whip. It talks about, I think it's in the book of John. I think that's the one account, because when you read the gospels, the different gospels, only one gospel mentions what Yahweh Shah did when he whipped the money changers in the temple. You know, basically it was John, because John was the one that, when you go into the scriptures, John was the one that the Lord loved the most. You know, so while people say, you know, the Lord doesn't show favoritism, what the fuck do you mean? I mean, excuse my Swahili, or, you know, I think fuck is a German word. But excuse my language if you that timid. You know, we adults. You about to see way more rougher shit than this. A curse word. That ain't even really a curse word. That's profanity. A curse is if I say, I hope you run into a fucking bus. Anyhow, the Lord had a favorite disciple. That's why it reads, when you read the book of John, he said the disciple the Lord loved. But, you know, people don't, you know, they, you know, anyhow, you know, because your understanding is going to get you fucked up. It ain't about what you like and what you think and how you feel. It tells you in the scriptures, in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, the whole duty of man is to follow the laws, statutes, commandments, and fear the Most High. Roughly paraphrased. And it tells you fear is the beginning of wisdom. So you by just having something simple, simply like having fear. Then you got JR people talking about, I fear nothing. I fear, you know, but wait till you gonna fear, because the thing is, they call you the Most High in the scriptures the King of Terrors. He know what exactly you fear. You know, I made me think of the account with Miriam. Miriam was bucking up. A woman's not supposed to buck up to no fucking man. And the Lord wasn't with that. That's why he put her ass in the fucking dark. And what she do? She came back humbled. So you about to come into a fucking time where they about to be playing with these fucking lights. And niggas, trust me, I know how niggas is. I remember the last blackout we had. I was working at a restaurant. This shit was years ago. I went to East Cleveland, and it was like 40 niggas on the fucking corner in the pitch dark. So niggas gonna play in that shit to a degree. But you don't know what the Lord gonna put on Esau's spirit. Esau might come down to the hood and start burning motherfuckers' houses up or some shit. And it ain't like I'm just speaking out the side of my neck. You gotta understand, these people have done it. These are the people that drop bombs on you, tell you they don't want you here, but yet and still exploit and take a man, Salakia. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. A scourge is a whip. An amendment is something to be changed. It's supposed to change or correct your behavior. But listen here, listen what it say. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Perfect example of it is when they locked everybody down in 2019 during the pandemic. People was up there, what's going on? What's happening? As soon as they let niggas out, and you can go back to these clubs and get back into your folly, niggas completely forgot that they just locked your ass down. People forgot that you done took some shit that they didn't even take. These people ain't take. You know, you got certain senators that didn't take that shit. And I pay attention to a lot of things. Maybe not everything. You know, I'm not going to be that proud. I'm not perfect. But what I'm going to say is this. You have had a lot of celebrities and athletes just suddenly die. You know what I mean? Like, you have had athletes fall out. Shit, they talking about Justin Bieber's face is basically like, what's it, like he had a stroke or something. I forgot what they call the disease. But 9 times out of 10, you done put something in your system that ain't even been fully tested. You the test. You was the test dummy to take that shit. You know, and like I said, if you're a spiritual person, you will realize it's ultimately Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshua is not really even Esau. He's about to test all of us. That's why it talks about the time of the time of temptation. The hour of temptation, roughly paraphrased in the book of Revelations. We all gonna be tempted and put in a position to be tempted to see if you're gonna stand firm. And you gotta stand firm, like the brother Mwatazak from LA was saying. You gotta be 10 toes down, solid cemented in this truth. Not wavering, because like I said, at the end of the day, you getting tested by the Most High. And if you're not fully persuaded in this thing, yeah, you're going to fail the test. I seen a man that I met, and I'm not going to harp on it. I'm not no great man. You know, I have no level of skill with the scriptures. I'm just grateful that I actually get it. You know what I mean? You know, I've seen brothers be masterminds like the elder Tazapah said, you know, with the sword, I could be a surgeon with that sword. Like Denzel said on training day, I'm a doctor with the shotgun, you know what I'm saying? I'm surgical with this bitch. Precise, you get what I'm saying? I got brothers that come with a precept like sharpshooters with it. You know, I'm grateful to have understanding, but that man that was considered a brother, and I feel he still is to a degree. Maybe the Lord, I mean, you know, I saw him doing the truth. I mean, doing the work. You know, I didn't know the situation. And then to come to find out, watching him scoff and do, you know, that show you how spiritual this thing is. And that's a scary thing. Because I met that brother. He was nothing like the way he is now. Showing you how spiritual this thing is. You know? So if you double-minded, that, you know what I mean? Like, when I met him, he was, and to see him now making these videos, you know, that's a double-minded, I mean, it's like a completely different person. So in that day of trouble, if you double-minded like that, that's why scriptures talk about a double-minded person. It's easy to say what you're not going to do when you're not faced with no adversity. You don't even know what you're made of until you go through something. And you got a lot of men that's sheltered in this place that ain't never been through shit. Them the ones that's gonna bug the fuck out. Like the brother said, you got men that's been homeless that's gonna withstand a lot more than what these people is. These people gonna fucking lose it. Best believe it. When they go to look at their savings and can't get their money, like the elder was going into how the banks is really set up. Like he was saying, basically now they can just take your money and put it into whatever the stock they want. So when you go get your money, they literally can be like, oh no, we ain't got your money, but we got these stocks. And you motherfuckers want this shit to continue. So lock here for digression. So the times we coming in, I got one final scripture. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, beginning at verse 1, because it talks about in the last days, the times that we're gonna be coming in. So when I read that article and about what that Jake did, no, I'm not surprised. You're gonna have more little niggas and niggas doing certain shit. Niggards, basically. And you know, like the brother Aran from Men of Valor, he put that video up with the little demons, them little niggas running across the subway trains in New York. And I did a video on it because I'm like, look at these niggas' mindset. If they don't give a fuck about their own life, you really think they gonna give a fuck about yours? You know, in New York, they busting bitches in the head taking their purses. Right now. In Mexico, women don't even go outside after 3 o'clock p.m. because they just snatching bitches up and putting them in slave rings, sex slave rings. Just like they doing in Jamaica too. And then you got Benjamin, you know, the sellouts of our nation, or the tribe of Benjamin, that basically signed with this devil and introduced the digital currency in Jamaica. And you motherfuckers sitting up here talking about the MOTB is not the RFID chip. This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own self, vain. And you see that now, everybody about they self. That people so fucking vain. You got people that literally go on Facebook, Instagram, and post what they do for the whole fucking day. Like, who gives a fuck? Everybody's struggling right now. I'm talking about, I done seen RTA bus drivers up there like, man, you know how high this gas is? And most RTA bus drivers making 20 or better. I'm talking about walking in the door, you making at least 18, 20. And then that's a union job. All unions supposed to stay with any increases in living. They supposed to increase with it. That's the purpose of a union. The employer can't just take advantage of you. Covetous, boasters, proud, which you see the height of pride in this. We still in this fucking gay pride month, ain't we? You know, gay pride. And the Lord gonna fuck this, like y'all don't really even see it though. Like y'all have no but then when the calamities really start just happening, boom, boom, boom. Like people literally, the elders and apostles, I go say the elders and apostles first and foremost been screaming about these things happening, and then they literally happen in your face, and then yet still you got the nerve to call the elders as well as the body charlatans. But you will listen to a motherfucker like TD Jakes, this fat ass pork chop eating fucking devil that's doing secret Masonic handshakes with motherfuckers like Bush and shit. Fuck is the a pastor at a government meeting for? Take the time to really dwell on that. Meditate on that shit. When you figure out that the churches, these fucked up ass, pork chop eating harlot houses out here is basically sided with the devil and the government. That's why you got 501c3s where they got the tax exemption status. Proud blasphemers. What did that fucking devil say? Yuri, the understudy of Klaus Schwab, say basically that we have surpassed the Most High God. And the Most High God allowed that devil to make that proud ass statement. So when he get him, you got to understand, sometimes it's better for the Lord to pay you back immediately. Mike Epps said that. It was a funny joke he made. He said it's always like the Lord pay him back whenever he do something fucked up. And yeah, he gonna pay back an Israelite because you up under the law, statutes, and commandments. You up under the covenant. But he was like, I think he said he'll steal like some candy or some shit and then get to his car and his keys he'll lose his keys or some shit. Like, so it was just funny to me. But yeah, like Jacob is up under these curses because we broke the law, statutes, commandments. And no other nation of people fit that but us. How the fuck we gonna be the strongest, most talented athletes ever, but at the lowest in society? And when you read the scriptures, you understand why. If you're a spiritual person, it said because he cursed you. You know what I mean? And we ain't just cursed because you got certain individuals of our nation that do damn well. Come on, like if it ain't a spiritual thing, you got to remember when the so-called white man, this red Hebrew Edomite, was doing bad during that Great Recession, Jake was living the fuck up. And go check that out. When you go into cities like Rosewood and fucking Black Wall Street, Arizona, Arizona, and them only two cities. You had multiple cities. I think it was a documentary on the History Channel. They said it was like 30 cities that was thriving. And Esau didn't like that shit. And that's why you think Rosewood, what happened to Rosewood? This man is jealous and covetous. And then you got you stupid ass people still talking about living, and at the end of the day, it's ultimately the Lord, when you go in the book of Genesis to talk about who will rouse up an old lion. When Jake gets started, you know how Jake is. But Jake only act like that towards Jake. The thing is, the Lord gonna put the spirit on Jake he gonna unleash Jake on Esau. That's the spirit, because the phone just chimed in with it. And ultimately it's gonna be the Lord that's gonna fuck them up. But it tells you in the scriptures, the saints shall take the kingdom. All kingdoms are taken. If you read the scriptures with understanding, you will know this. Without natural affection, truth, it say unholy. Holy is to be separate. So unholy is you get along, go along and get along, and everybody come together. We all in it together. Being joined onto these fucking heathens. You got Jake still think they African. Have you ever met an African? I've met several Africans in my time. And do you know what? A real Hamite don't like you. Shit, it was a video circulating on YouTube where the African was sitting up there talking about Jake. Like, you motherfuckers and this, and you ain't our people and all that shit. And anybody that's a real Israelite and that know they self, just like a real Hamite that know themselves, gonna know that y'all not the same. Why you think they customs is completely different from ours? You'll have a Hamite that'll put a big ass bone through their nose and shit like. You got a tribe of Ham that basically circumcise the women. Why would you circumcise the woman? The box is to conceive, or the quabah is to conceive a child, but it's also, the Lord is so cold, he also put that there for our pleasure. So only a heathen, a person devoid of understanding, will literally circumcise the woman. You circumcise the man because when our that skin, that foreskin around our penis, that creates bacteria and all that. You know what I mean? That's unclean. And that's why the Lord, had them chop that shit off. You got a lot of Hamites and heathens that don't get that shit cut. Shit, my demon, and I should have caught that shit. She told me how she met several men that were not circumcised. And I should have caught it from a spiritual aspect. Like, why the fuck is the Lord sending you these uncircumcised men? Because she unclean. I mean, all of us our righteousness, all of us is filthy and wicked. It tells you in the scriptures that our righteousness is that filthy rag. With all the work I've done, and as much as I've tried to be righteous, I'm still a dirty ass stain. How much more so without Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? Without natural affection. That's the point what I wanted. So when that Jake shot his girlfriend, he, that's proven the scripture. He ain't have no natural affection. So, with that being said, if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua before you get caught up in this coming judgment. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam, La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kodash Barakatham. Double honors to my apostles and to my elders, a great millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Aqua, to the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, and subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom, and my wath lava ball. Shalom.